Alright guys, good afternoon, 5 p.m. New York time, Wednesday, February 22nd, 2017. Hope you all had a good day. Hope you took advantage of some of the FOMC volatility on the dollar. There was some movement on that. Anyways, not going to be talking about that here. What I wanted to do really quick is a video on the Australian dollar and some news coming out tonight. So here we are on our FOMC, our Forex Factory calendar. 7:30 p.m. New York time. We have Australian dollar private capital expenditures quarter over quarter. They are expecting a better showing than last time. This is a change in total inflation, adjusted value of new capital expenditures made by private businesses. So it's an economic thing because it shows investment in capital by business, and so that supposedly equates to how good they feel about the economy going forward, that they're going to invest money in expensive capital equipment. So that's what this reading is, and they are expecting a better showing. They had a negative reading last time. They're expecting still negative, but basically flat this time. So we'll see how this comes out. But this is fairly important news for an economy like Australia. So let's just take a quick look at the charts at a couple of pairs. I'm not going to belabor this too long. So here's the Aussie Swiss and daily chart. Now you remember earlier in the week I got into this trade short a couple of days ago. I don't remember exactly where. Maybe it was down here somewhere. I ended up getting taken out because, as you can see, it continued to go up. The Australian dollar has been very strong. Here we are out on the weekly chart. We have basically poked through this this channel here. Zoom in a little bit. You can see the weekly candle here is just sitting basically right on the line right now. If I adjusted this to catch this high right here, it doesn't really make any difference. So we're right there at a, I would say a key resistance level. And this is certainly a correction. We have this long downtrend here, and now we're moving kind of with these higher lows and slightly higher highs, with the market going up inside this channel. So going back down a little bit, I have this marked as an ABC. I was just looking at it, and I'm thinking this may be the last piece of the correction up. Here we are on the 12-hour chart. We do have divergence on the CCI. Here we are. We made a new high up here. If you come down here to the CCI indicator, there's divergence, meaning it's not keeping up. That's the first telltale sign of a move, especially on a higher time frame, running out a little bit of steam. And I'm looking at this as an ABC move up, although these are not equal. I'd feel better if these were equal. This is about 350 pips, and the C is 330, so it's not terribly bad. This is about 20 pips off, and this actually could push up a little bit more prior to the news coming out. We could certainly pick up 20 pips, or maybe when the news comes out it spikes and then turns back down. But so this is looking a little bearish on the Aussie Swiss. On the Aussie dollar, again, this is really influenced by the dollar, and the dollar was weakened a little bit with the FOMC minutes today, but I don't think that's long term. And we are seeing kind of a flattening of the price here on the Aussie dollar. Again, on the weekly chart, this long downtrend followed by what you could label as an ABC correction. It's not real clear to me, but we're back up to these, around these highs right here. This is obviously a very strong resistance level. The CCI indicator, again, is not getting back up to these, it's kind of equal these last highs, but it's not climbing. It's kind of flattened out here. And if you go to the daily chart or the 12-hour chart, we're seeing divergence basically, because we're back up at these highs up here, which is the same as these over here, yet the CCI indicator is not making new highs. In fact, if you compare the CCI to this high, where it made a new high down here, over here it made another new high and it did not keep up. So again, some divergence. And again, the CCI is not a trading system. I just use it as a to try to confirm what might be going on. But what's going on in the chart here certainly is the primary driver, without a doubt. So here on the 4 hour, again, kind of slopping around here at the top, not really making any progress. So there's clearly a lot of resistance up here to this move to the upside. So I did point out this ABC the other day on the Aussie, on the daily chart. This looks like a big ABC, and this is a move up. So certainly, again, the Australian dollar has been very resilient, and it's gone up despite the fact that there are some good things in their economy right now. But as their minutes showed the other day, it's not all rosy. So, all right, so let's look at one more here. Look at the Euro Aussie. Again, looks to be, to me, a completed trend here. You don't have to label this at all, but if you wanted to label it, you could label it something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something to that effect. And it looks like this trend is ending on the daily chart. We drill down a little bit. This clearly was an end of a trend sign right here with this strong move up, and now we see we're correcting down. Go down a little bit further. So, I could see this heading, this move, this price kind of drifting down. We're down on the 30-minute now, and then when the news comes out, maybe it spikes down a little and then goes up. But this is certainly more bullish than we've seen in a while on this pair. Although again, it's the euro, so it's not a particularly strong pair. But I'm just trying to see what else on some of these other time frames, what I can see. We got any divergence here or anything? Yeah, there is some divergence here on the daily chart. Just blow this up a little bit here. So again, you made this new low right here, and you look at the CCI indicator, it did not. And you also have a little compression. It's hard to see it on this time frame. Again, it's not real obvious, but it looks like you have the CCI compressing going up and now spread out going down right here. That also is suggestive that the price will continue to go up. So my bias right now is that this news will be negative for the Australian dollar. If this comes out, if this comes out negative right here, red, or even if it comes out flat, if it comes out 0.4, negative 0.4, you may see a little spike on the Australian dollar, maybe 20 pips or so, but then it probably will turn and go back the other way. But my bias is that it'll be negative. So I know I said that earlier in the week and I was wrong, and that's, you definitely, you're gonna be wrong sometimes. That's the way it goes. I'm just looking over here at the pound Aussie, and I can kind of see this as potentially ending a trend too. You might have, I'm a little bit more hesitant to trade this because it's a pound pair, and I'm just not around to watch it a lot of times because of my time zone. So I don't know if I'll trade it, but you could have a trend ending here on the pound Aussie too. There's a lot of pips in this pair if you can if you can catch it right. So but it's a double-edged sword. So again, guys, that's what I'm thinking. Negative for the Australian dollar. Here's the Aussie Yen. Again, I'm pretty much seeing basically the end of a trend here, or nearing the end of a trend. This uptrend. This is the weekly chart. I can see this maybe going up a few more pips and then turning down. Here's the daily. Although don't really have a lot of divergence on this one based on this high, so that's a little concerning. But again, these are yen pairs, so you really sometimes have to treat these as different animals because they're yen pairs because of the risk on, risk off sentiment. But here on the 1 to 4 hour, we've got this move down, and this looks pretty corrective going up here. Looks like maybe we ended a correction right here, we went down, and now we're pulling back on this one again, and maybe it goes down from here. So potential setup on the Aussie Yen too. So anyways, guys, that's it. I just wanted to make that quick video. Perhaps I I can make another one later on based on what the news actually says. I won't be here when the news comes out, so I'm going to have to make decisions about trading it before the news comes out. I won't be home, but like I said, maybe I'll make a follow-up, and we'll see where it's at later. Alright, so again, guys, as I always tell you, don't take any trades based on anything I'm telling you. Use your own system, your own judgment, your own analysis on whether you think it might be accurate. I put this out there just for informational purposes only, and give you a different perspective on Elliott Wave patterns, and combining it with fundamentals and news releases, which I think is very important. You just, like I've said many times, you cannot ignore the fundamentals and the economic sentiment indicators that come out. To do so and only look at price action and never look at that is, you're trading half blind, and you're really only seeing half the picture. So it is important to to look at both. So anyways, guys, so that's it. Have a great night, and so hopefully we'll talk to you later on.